With 12,800 employees and almost $2 billion in annual revenue, Carilion Clinic is the largest employer in the Roanoke Valley. Among those 12,800 employees, there is one person who everyone else reports to. She's the president and CEO of Carilion Clinic, and her name is Nancy Agee. I'm here to talk with Ms. Agee and find out more about healthcare in America and what it takes to help a community be healthy. Thank you for meeting with me today, Ms. Agee. You started your career at Carilion in the 1970s as a nurse and have since worked your way to the top of the same organizations over your career. What do you think has been the most important factor in your success and led to your ability to move up within your organization?
Thank you for asking that. And it's a kind of hard question to answer. I would say what's been the most important characteristic that I've had is curiosity, which is also one of our Carilion values. So it's really being interested in and anxious to learn more and just continue that evolution, that journey, whether it's formally through education or just in general, learn more and more about the organization. I think the other thing, and this is perhaps important for everyone, but especially for women, and that is to lean in. To say, hey, I'm here, I'll do that, I'd like to do something, and not so much not saying no, but putting your best face forward or your best foot forward and enjoying what you're doing. So there's just a lot of joy and passion for me about every step that I've had in this organization.
I learned as much as I could about healthcare in the last few weeks since I knew we were going to meet. It seems like there is a lot of uncertainty about the future of health insurance in America. I discovered that with current proposed changes to the U.S. budget, there could be over 23 million Americans who lose their insurance. As the CEO of Carilion and the incoming chairperson of the nationwide American Hospital Association, what do you think is going to happen to our healthcare system in America, and what keeps you up at night?
There's 3 simple words to your question, and that is, I don't know. But let me expand on that. So the Affordable Care Act was at its heart an insurance product so that many more Americans could get insurance, either through Medicaid expansion or through the exchanges. The exchanges have been unstable because of the subsidies necessary and because, as it turns out, older and sicker people got into the insurance exchanges, and that cost more than was expected. So that's been a real frustration, and it's in some ways created pressure for employers who are buying insurance because their rates have gone up to offset that. So it's a quagmire, and and I have to understand that. Employers are concerned because their costs are going up. Legislators are concerned because they're hearing from their constituents that healthcare is unaffordable. At the same time, we've got plenty of people who are now newly insured, and we know that people who have healthcare insurance actually have better health care. They have better health outcomes. They seek health care sooner when it's easier to control their illness, to diagnose things. So against all that backdrop, then, is this concern to fix the Affordable Care Act or get rid of the Affordable Care Act. So we now have this new bill that the House has passed, and in it looks like many people would be without health insurance. That's now gone to the Senate. My best guess is the Senate won't do quite as much, but I if I was a betting person, I would say sometime between now and July 4th, they will pass a bill, and I'm very worried about it. So, very concerned about people being without insurance, as well as concerned about affordability of healthcare in general. And that's where, here in Southwest Virginia, we focus on how to improve health outcomes, how to be a part of our community's health, and how to reduce healthcare cost.
Roanoke Valley is an amazing community, but like any other, it has challenges. According to the Carilion Community Needs Assessment, there are large groups of people facing high rates of poverty. How do poverty and health go together, and what are you and Carilion doing to improve the health of those in our area who struggle with poverty?
So I love that question because it's right at the heart of why I do what I do. And you're right. We have concerns right here in the Roanoke Valley. We know that people who are poorer are often sicker and don't have a sort of a network to help them get well and live a healthy life. Socioeconomic determinants of health are well-known issues that really cause healthcare to be more expensive and health outcomes to be less good. So right here in our region, and we have some of the lowest health outcomes, poorest health outcomes in the whole state. So we're really looking at how do we make a difference right here in the Roanoke Valley. And what I see the role of Carilion to be is a convener. So let me give you an example. We can take great care of you when you're sick, but what we really need to do is create an environment for you to stay well, right? And that's not just Carilion's job. That's a way for all of us to come together, whether it's the school system, the police department, the economic development. We want to create a real vitality around Roanoke where people are safe, healthy, have good jobs, and that actually makes a huge difference to socioeconomic determinants of health. So what Carilion's trying to be is a convener, reaching out to the wonderful organizations all across our area. We're so fortunate to have a good United Way, to have a good rescue mission, to have a vibrant city manager and the leaders of the city who want to make a difference, a great school system. So how do we take those pieces and then focus in the areas where we have a poorer or less healthy region, and what can we do about that? So for instance, in the Southeast, we've been a convener, and it's a really important word, a collaborator with a variety of organizations to look at what are the needs in that area, in that zip code, in that section of the city, and how can we address those needs specifically, whether it's with primary care, with dental services, with funding certain services, whether it's providing more food. So for instance, we have a prescription food program. So if you can't afford your food, or we know that better food's going to make a difference, we can actually give you a prescription and funding, and you can go to a market or to the grocery store and get better food. All of that fits in. Safe housing. So we're really trying to organize a lot of community resources to make a difference. The other thing we do is take the long view. So this isn't something that's going to get fixed overnight. It's going to take months. It's going to take years. It's going to be, okay, what does this region look like 5 years from now, and how do we get there? Very exciting. I don't think we've ever really done this before in our region, to pull multiple resources together and harness us together so we can very much focus on improving health outcomes, improving the economy, and making this region a vital region. I hadn't even talked about the relationship with Virginia Tech and what we've done to grow research, to create this innovation district with entrepreneurism and more business. We'll save that for another day.
Thank you so much for meeting with me today, Ms. Agee. As promised, I just asked 3 of the millions of questions I could have asked you. Please share any last thoughts you might have for our audience.
So I'll just close by first of all saying thank you. Thank you for doing this and for asking me hard questions. And secondly, maybe I'll just give you a glimpse of what I see as the future, but we have to go backwards to go forward. 10 years ago, before you and your family even moved to Roanoke, this area where my office is now was a brownfield and a floodplain, if you can imagine. And now it is a vibrant community with healthcare resources and a relationship with Virginia Tech, Carilion and Virginia Tech coming together to build a medical school and a research institute. So we have one of the most competitive schools of medicine in the country now, with over 4,500 applicants for 42 slots a year. We have a research institute that 7 years ago didn't exist and now has more than $80 million of funded research that makes a difference globally in the area of biomedical sciences. We're going to double the size of that. We've become very focused on creating a region of health sciences and technology on this campus, and then spawning from that this innovation district where I think 10 years forward, so if we look out 10 years, we'll see new businesses coming to Roanoke. We'll see just a different vibrancy around the areas of health sciences, technology, and education, and other businesses that are related. So couldn't be a more exciting time to be right here, not just in healthcare, but in what we're doing to really advance Virginia.
Health is a challenging topic. It's life and death stuff. On one hand, doctors have figured out how to cure diseases, ease pain and suffering, and help people live longer, better lives. On the other hand, every new drug and every new machine which saves and improves lives adds to the cost of healthcare. I don't know what the future holds for healthcare in America, even after talking with one of the nation's top experts. In America, we pay for our own healthcare as a personal cost, a cost which too many citizens simply cannot afford. In other countries, the government provides access to healthcare as a shared cost that comes with citizenship. I can tell after meeting her that Nancy Agee is a compassionate medical professional who genuinely wants to do what she can to help patients. I know there are millions of nurses and doctors and researchers and medical professionals like Ms. Agee who just want to provide excellent care. I can't help but wonder what we must do as a country to let them do their jobs. From Carilion Clinic in Roanoke, Virginia, for 3 Questions with Ava Rosa, thanks for watching. See you next time.